Welcome to Bear Lake Baseball. Just finished up the national anthem. We're ready for ball. We're 51 minutes late or 9 minutes early, depending on how you want to look at it, as the game was originally supposed to start at 11. Because there was snow on the field this morning, we decided to postpone the game. I talked to the two coaches and the umpire and decided to push it back an hour, give us time to get the field melted off and ready to go. And I'm going to apologize about my voice this morning. Lisa and I cleaned out this booth up here, and my allergies are killing me.
Yeah,
I may have
to. I'm sorry, everybody.
No, it's okay. It needed to be done.
It really did.
So the Bear Lake Bears facing the Marsh Valley Eagles, the number one seeded so far in the on the year for the district Marsh Valley Eagles. And right now sitting in the number 3 spot, Bear Lake Bears, and I think that's pretty solid. After yesterday's games, the Bears lost to Snake River. They had a chance to tie them in the standings, but they lost to Snake River 6-3 here at home. And so Bears solidly sitting in number 3. They split with American Falls, each winning on the other team's home field, but Bear Lake owns the tiebreakers against American Falls. So that's the way the standings are probably going to be. 1, Marsh Valley, 2, Snake River, 3, 3 Bear Lake, 4, American Falls for the district tournament that starts on Thursday. Starting on the mound for you today, Dax Perkins behind the plate is Mason Bloxam for the Bear Lake Bears, and Tate Whitworth, we said that name quite a bit in the basketball season, will be the first batter for these Marsh Valley Eagles. And we are ready for some baseball. And first pitch looks like it's going to be low for ball 1. Whitworth will be the second baseman when Marsh Valley takes the field. Next pitch is roped into center field, just out of the reach of Yoshimura at shortstop, a little bit over his head. So it's a single for Whitworth. I don't know if you call that a line drive. It was kind of a lazy line drive. It was just enough on it to get over Yoshimura's head and fall safely into shallow center field for a single. And this brings Solomon up to the plate. He is the center fielder today. Batting from the left side. Whitworth is going with the pitch. Here's the throw. Nice throw down, but he's safe. Very close. Nice play.
Great throw by Bloxam from behind the plate.
And Jace Transtrom playing second base today applied the tag. At least that's who's listed as second. Is that Jace?
That is Jace, yes. Well, that's who it's supposed to be.
That's who it's supposed to be, but it doesn't look like Jace. We'll try to catch a number. And Whitworth going to third. And because the show bunt, it's actually Transtrom's at third. That's Hume at second, Transtrom at third. Anyway, they throw.
They flip-flopped those two.
The throw down to Transtrom at third was off the line. He couldn't make the catch, and so Whitworth scores, gets the stolen base and scores. He would have scored anyway because there is a hit to the gap. He's going for 2. Let's see if he rounds and heads for 3. He's going to go to, nope, he's going to go back to 2, and it's a double. So Whitworth stole second, stole third, scored on the error, and then the double to the gap has Solomon at second, nobody out, runner at second. Third batter of the game is Sorensen, the right fielder, wearing number 8 for the Marsh Valley Eagles. Solomon takes the lead off. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be another, off the glove of Yoshimura.
So
it looked like he was going to catch it. He jumped high in the air, and it hit just the top of his glove and ricochets into left field for a single. If he'd have got 3 inches higher, that would have been an out and potentially a double play. But it snuck its way into center field, so runners at first and third, still nobody out. Bennett, the catcher, stepping in the box for the Marsh Valley Eagles. So far, their bats have been alive. That one's inside for ball one. Sorensen will advance to second without a throw. When you got a runner at third, that's a tough play to get that ball to second and back. And most teams decide to do exactly what the Bears did right there and just let it go. That one's low for ball two. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. Runners at second and third for Bennett. He takes outside for ball 3.
And ball. The fourth pitch is a ball, and he will advance to first base on a walk. All right, bases loaded, no outs. Number 12 coming to the plate. This is Anderson. And a wild pitch brings in 1 run. And everybody advances a base. Score now 2-0, Marsh Valley in the lead. Anderson still batting with 1 ball, no strikes, and runners on second and third. Pitch coming in, and it is another deep hit, in fact, over the fence, the left field fence. So that will be, that will score 2 runs plus himself, so 3 runs in for the Eagles.
Was that Bennett?
That was Anderson.
Oh, yeah, Bennett walked. Sorry, I was trying to blow my nose for you so you guys don't have to listen to me sniffle quite as much. And the home run to deep left field. And just like that, without an out in the game, it's already 5-0 with Curzon stepped into the box. He is the left fielder, and he is going to rifle that one into shallow center field. That was almost identical to the one earlier, just over the mitt of Yoshimura, just high enough he can't get to them. They're not hitting them hard except for the home run. They're just getting them to the gaps, right where nobody can get to it. This brings up Hemsley. And Hemsley ropes another single. But, oh, the throw would have been better. They would have had the out at second. As a single, and Ewing came up with it. His throw was in the dirt. Hume couldn't scoop it out of the dirt in time to get the out. So it goes as a single. First and second now for Branson. He shows bunt. And Bears are going to get the runner stealing. It was a double steal.
Great throw.
A called strike. And caught stealing is Curzon. Hemsley stole second on the play. So 1 ball, no balls, 2 strikes now with the swing to miss. Hemsley, the batter. Hemsley at second base, Branson, the batter, the third baseman. It is 5-0 already here in the first. And the wild pitch is going to advance the runner to third. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner down at 3. The 1 out was a caught stealing on the play. They tried to do the double steal this time. Instead of coming up to play the bunt, Transtrom stayed home, was able to tag out Curzon. And the swing and a miss strikes him out. So out number 2 of the inning is recorded on the USAVE Phillips 66 strikeout. USAVE Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure. Live to the full. USAVE Phillips 66. This brings up Carter. And Carter takes ball 1 in the dirt. Nice block back there by Bloxham. to keep that ball in front of him. And that one misses as well, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 out, runner at third, 5 runs in here in the first. And that one is inside, ball 3. Nearly hit him. I think Hemsley was bracing himself for the contact, willing to take it and get the free base.
He didn't flinch.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. Strike 1, inside corner. Nice pitch right there. That was about 3 inches further in to the plate, further into home plate. I know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a rip into the right center field gap. Well played by Ewing. 1 run will score, but it keeps the runner at first. And so another single, and we're back to the top of the lineup. Whitworth will be the batter. He singled on the second pitch of the game. He takes outside and away for ball 1. Tate Whitworth, 1 for 1 with a single, came in to score. One of the runs already up on the board this inning. This is his second time in the batter's box. Takes inside for ball 2. So Carter down at first base. Whitworth in the box. Dax Perkins on the mound, delivers. That was ripped foul. That was way gone. If that one stayed fair, that'd been a home run.
That's almost to the greenhouse.
Clear up on the hill. The home run earlier hit on top of the hill up by the track. There's a ball inside. And the stolen base by Carter D. I don't know his last name because he didn't have it in the on the lineup card. But his first name's Carter, and Tate Whitworth, draws the walk. So runners now at first and second for Solomon, the center fielder. And he is 1 for 1. And he doubled. He had the double to the left field gap. Swing and a miss for Solomon for strike 1. 11 batters to the plate so far in the inning. 6 runs across, 2 runners on, 1 at first, 1 at second. There are 2 outs, and there's a foul ball. So 0-2 is your count. So with 2 out, Dax Perkins would love to record another Phillips 66U save strikeout. He's got 1 in the inning. He'd love to end the inning right here. And just missed high.
Yeah. It was pretty. Just a little high.
For ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a pop fly. It's going to get back out of play for a foul ball. So the count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. High for ball 2. Sorensen, right fielder, due up. And he had a single back in his first at-bat in the inning. That's inside. Count is full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes after starting out 0-2. Solomon has worked the count. Here's the 3 ball, 2 strike pitch, and it's inside, ball 4. They would have had the runner at third on the steal, but it doesn't matter. It's a walk. And Sorensen steps back in the box for his second at-bat. He had a single into shallow left center, his first at-bat. He swings and misses at that one. So for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases full of Eagles, and the bad throw back to the pitcher, and a run will score. It was kind of a lazy toss back to the pitcher, and it got just in front of him and then squirted past him on the mound. And so the throwing error allows the run to score. There's a foul ball. Runners at first and second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 7 runs in already here in the first inning. Runners going, and it's a swing and a miss. That's strike 3. That'll end the inning. It was a drop third strike, but Bloxham throws it first in time. The inning ends, but not before. The Marsh Valley Eagles score 7. We'll be back with the bottom of the first after this on the SVI Sports Network.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. They assist in the skilled nursing facility, the manor, the home health, along with helping out with both preoperative and postoperative. Make sure that you have the best outcome with your surgery and your way of life going forward.
Nice job, Martin. Looking good. Oh, it's the funny car guy.
Hey, you got Napa know-how too, huh?
Yep. Well, Martin does go 200 miles an hour.
Ron breaks 300 in 4 seconds.
Yeah, in a straight line. That's real hard.
You drive in a circle.
You don't even steer.
Look at me.
Hey, you
I
two.
turn left.
Don't make me go get my can.
Your can's old.
Quiet! Matlock's on!
That's Daryl's can.
Boogity, boogity!
It's definitely more steady the way we... We're back. We moved the camera a little bit while we were gone. Hopefully that looks a little bit better. As the Bears Lake Bears trail after one half of an inning, 7-0. Dax Perkins will be the batter. Denver Peterson, we think, is the pitcher. It's just a Denver P on the roster, and we do have a D Peterson in our game changer, so that's where we're gonna guess that that's who it is. So Peterson on the mound, Perkins in the box. Behind the plate is Bennett. Here's the pitch, up and away, ball 1. So Bears have their work cut out for them if they're going to fight their way back into this game. Down big early, 7-0. That's a called strike on the second pitch of the inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And called it outside. I thought I heard him say strike, so I was waiting for the movement to go with it, and he never brought it, so we're going to say it was ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out, nobody on. Bottom of the first inning, Bears trail at 7-0. That's a called strike. On your Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard, Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare, you can count on them to care. Visit them at blmhospital.com. Peterson set to deliver. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside and high, ball 3. So good at bat to start the game for Perkins as he's making Peterson work. Worked a full count here. Here's pitch number 6 of the at-bat. Peterson delivers inside, nearly hit him. He'll take the walk, and the leadoff hitter is aboard for the Bear Lake Bears, and Yoshimura, the shortstop, hitting in the number 2 spot. And Yoshimura if he was 10 feet tall, would have recorded several outs that last inning because there were 4 or 5 hits that went just over the top of him where nobody could have got it, let alone him get to it. There was only one that even touched, and it tipped right off the top of his glove as they throw over to first to try to get Perkins, and they'll do it again. Perkins back safely again. No balls, no strikes, no out. Perkins at first after the leadoff walk. Yoshimura, the batter. Here's the pitch. Called strike.
Over that right corner.
Outside corner of the plate for strike one. Another throw over. Perkins back easily. And they're going to be very aggressive, keeping Perkins close over there. You'd think with the 7-run lead, they wouldn't be quite that aggressive, but they are. Here's the pitch, and Yoshimura hits the ground ball.
Good hit.
It's going to get through the gap between third and short. Good effort there by Branson to try to get to it, but he couldn't. And it is a single. And the ground ball, seeing eye single, gets into left field. And this brings Jack Hume to the plate with Yoshimura at first, Perkins at second, nobody out. Bears trying to claw back into this one here early, down 7-0 after the top of the first. Jack Hume standing in there. Here's the pitch, and he takes high for ball one. He's using his ranching gloves today, or his roping gloves today as his batting gloves.
I hadn't even noticed.
He's got leather
Awesome.
gloves on that you'd use on the farm.
Probably worked just as good, if not better.
Absolutely. They look like they're insulated, too, so it's probably keeping his hands warm.
Good
He's going to
hit.
rip this one into center field, and it's going to get to the fence. It's going to be off the fence. And
Yoshimura is literally on the heels of Perkins there.
Perkins scores. Yoshimura stops at third, and RBI double. And that ball was rocketed into center field. And the fly ball over the head of Solomon in deep center. And runners now at second and third. I think Yoshimura almost could have followed.
I was going to say, if he'd have stayed as close as he was at one point, probably could have come right in with him.
He took a more aggressive lead off because there's a whole lot longer of a throw to get him at first if he doesn't tag up. So he was able to take a more aggressive lead, and he was right on the heels of Dax Perkins as they rounded. This brings up Tyken Carlisle. 7-1 is your score, Bears. Threatening, they got two more in scoring position with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch to Carlisle, and he swings over the top of that one. Foul tip into the glove for strike one. Oh, 1 pitch coming from Peterson. Carlisle could make this a brand new ball game if he can get a hold of one here. Would potentially score two with Hume down at second and Yoshimura standing on third. Carlisle hit the ball well yesterday against Snake River. Takes high and away for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runners at second and third for Carlisle. Peterson taking his time, finally delivers. Oh, called strike. Looked like it was going to be high. It dropped in for a called strike on the outside corner. Good pitch there from Peterson. That's one that out of his hand, it looked like it was easily going to be high for a ball. Struck him out looking. And that one is a great pitch on the inside corner. And that retires Carlisle, so Wolstenhume will step in there. The right fielder will be looking to drive in these 2 runs now with runners at second and third. A walk, back-to-back hits before that strikeout is how the Bears got the 1 run they do have on the board and the 2 runners in scoring position. And that's outside and high for ball one. Wolstenholme made pretty good contact as well yesterday. Bears just couldn't put string together hits yesterday in that game and fell 6-3 to Snake River. But they also had a hard time finding some balance because the Panthers switched pitchers quite often in that game. They switched pitchers 3 times, and so the Bears batters never really had a chance to time up the pitching. And there is ball 3. So very quickly it's 3-0 to Wolstenholme. It would load the bases for Bloxham, the catcher, who's due up next. Wolstenholme taking all the way, and that's a called strike. So 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 out. Runners at second and third. Peterson delivers, and that one is fouled off. 3-2. Peterson takes his time between pitches, looking in there, getting the sign from his catcher. Now he comes set, ready to deliver to the 3-2 pitch. Here it is, and it's high, ball 4. Base is loaded. A walk, a single, a double, a strikeout, and a walk so far in the game. And Mason Bloxham, the catcher, batter number 6 of the inning, stepping in now with bases full of Bears. Infield coming in a little bit, at least at the corners for Bloxham. Takes on the outside corner for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Peterson comes set.
Oh,
inside.
that almost hit his elbow. Or at least it looked like it did.
It was close. It was close. Inside pitch for a ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bases packed full of Bear Lake Bears. And that one was inside. Ball 2. Yoshimura at third, Hume at second, Wolstenholme down at first. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nowhere to put him. So Peterson's going to have to give him something within the next couple pitches to hit. Don't want to walk in a run. And a late swing by Bloxham. That was that's going to be a strike. So he makes the late swing, fouls it off. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Bloxham. Peterson comes set, delivers, fouls it off. In on his hands.
Swing,
yep.
Yeah.
It was close enough that probably would have been a called strike. So Wolstenholme did the right thing there by fouling it off. Lived to see another pitch, 2-2. Peterson takes his time between pitches. And that one's popped high in the air. It's going to be out of play back behind us. And it remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bears making Peterson do his work. He's already thrown about 26 pitches in the inning here. And bases are full of Bears with only 1 out. Wolstenholme standing there with the 2-2 count. Peterson taking his time, gets the call, finally comes set. Fouls off another one. If you can, as a batter, foul off the pitcher's pitches, eventually you're going to get your pitch. And that's what Mason Bloxham is trying to do right here, is get his pitch. Working the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Peterson delivers up and away, 3-2. Count is full.
That would look really good to me. Ugh.
It was high.
Made me nervous.
I'm going to say it was high. And Wolstenholme steps back in there. Now Peterson, if you're Wolstenholme, you can pretty much know he's going to throw a strike. He doesn't want to walk in a run.
This is Bloxham.
Bloxham, I should say.
There you
and
go.
He gets a little slow roller, and Wolstenholme forgot to run. I don't know if he thought that ball was going to be caught, but he'll be thrown out at second. A run will score. I'm going to call it an infield single because they would not have got Woolston blocks him at first. So 2 outs now, but 2 runs in. Tate Ewing will be the batter. Here's the pitch. Swung and missed. 0-1. So Yoshimura scored on that last play. Humes at third. Blocks him down at first. And Ewing would like to get the Bears at least one more run here with the base hit. Swing and a miss. So after the last 2 batters have worked full counts, 2 quick strikes to Ewing. Here's the 0-2 pitch. See if Wilson was going with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Sorry, blocks him. And Bloxham's going to stay put. Good thing he did because that was high and inside. They were looking to pick him off. It's a little bit of a chess match going on right now with runners at first and third. Ewing the batter, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bears had runners at second, third with nobody out. Ball right there. So far have only been able to score 1 run of those 2. When you get that situation, you'd like to capitalize with a couple of runs. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Oh. They're going to say strike 3, called strike. It looked like it was up and away to me. I'm not even upset he didn't swing at that pitch, but they strike out is the call. So the Bears get 2 back, but they still trail it by a score of 7-2. We'll be back with the top of the second right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. We have very competent and successful providers that provide the best care possible. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. As a hospital, we're really proud of what we are able to provide. It's an all-encompassing department that is very, very much needed.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their cows. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
7-2 after 1 complete inning. The Bears strand a couple. They couldn't take advantage. Well, I shouldn't say couldn't take advantage. They couldn't take full advantage of having runners at second, third with nobody out. They were able to score 1 of those runs. First run came with nobody out on the double to center field by Jack Hume. Bennett, who walked in his first at-bat and then scored on the home run, takes ball 1 as that bounces in front of home plate there. 4-1 from Perkins. Perkins threw about 40 pitches that first inning. My pitch count isn't exactly accurate. He induces the high pop fly. He'll come over in foul territory, take it himself, and get the out. That moved to the last second, and Perkins almost didn't get underneath it. But he brings it in. Transtrom was there as well. And out number 1. Anderson is the one that had the deep home run, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he did. I think that ball's still flying.
Yeah.
From back in the first inning. So if you're familiar with the park, I know you probably couldn't see it on camera where it landed. If you're familiar with the park, The outfield in left field has the hill that goes up to the football field. It landed up on that hill. Foul ball for strike one, swing and a miss for strike two. So Anderson, who's 1 for 1 with a home run, it was a 3-run shot. Oh, just missed. That's a tough take with 2 strikes. That inside fastball looked good to me, but he calls it a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Oh.
That was behind him. That was an easy take. That one was definitely a ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. The scoreboard has it. Okay, now they're clearing it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Foul ball. We'll do it again. 7-2 in the top of the second. The Marsh Valley Eagles lead it over the Bear Lake Bears here on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare, you can count on them to care. Visit them at BLM Healthcare Hospital, blmhospital.com. Here's the 2-2 pitch again from Perkins. And a foul ball. Just got a piece of it, enough to stay alive, did Anderson. So the Eagles in the first inning sent 12 batters to the plate and scored 7 runs. And there's a high pop fly. It's going to get just out of play for a foul ball. So Anderson will step back in. The count remains 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's a ground ball single. Gets between second and third base, then rolls under the glove of Wood out in left field. And so the single and an error, and Anderson is at second base. So Curzon will step in. In the first inning, he hit a single to left field. Takes outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out, runner at second after that single and the error in the outfield. Outside, just missed for ball 2. Much better day. Very little wind out there, Finney. Sunshine.
It's beautiful today.
Attempted pickoff, throw down to second, not in time as Anderson dives back. Anderson had to get the jersey dirty there. In the first inning, he didn't have to because he touched them all with a home run. And there is a foul tip for strike 1. So just like Jack Hume is wearing his ranching gloves, Anderson and now Curzon are doing the same thing. They're just gloves, nice ones, nice leather gloves, but gloves you could go down to Gunnarson's and pick up, or Walton Feed and pick up for your farm and ranch needs. And a swing and a miss there for 0-2. For strike 2, I should say. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, runner at second. Curzon the batter. And there's another pickoff play, and this one's going to go into center field. And the throw to third is not going to be in time, and it's going to get away. But Anderson will stay at third. So good throw by Ewing, almost there, but just wasn't.
They bring him in.
They brought, it went out of play, yeah. Mm-hmm. Ball went out of play. So the attempted pickoff play turns into a run. So the 2 bad throws lead to a run scoring from second. Curzon still in the box at 2-2 count. Swing and a miss, struck him out. There's a U-save. Phillips 66 strikeout, U-save. Phillips 66. Live to the full where your convenience is our pleasure. And speaking of U-save Phillips 66, it's going to be our pleasure to try to bring you at least part of the baseball game today. It depends on how that goes. We told you we'd have that game on at 1 o'clock. By the baseball game being pushed back, that may not be able to happen. But if we can, we'll get you part of that game at least. At least we'll tell you what's going on as they play West Side. And ball one, and then a foul ball to Hemsley. Hemsley in the first inning hit a single. He was one of those that just made it over the head of Yoshimura and into left center field. He takes a called strike right there. Hemsley is another batter from Marsh Valley. This is the third batter from Marsh Valley that I've noticed wearing those ranching gloves. And they're just the white, soft leather. Nice gloves. As that one's in the dirt for ball one. Now the next batter, which is Branson, has on traditional batting gloves if he gets a chance to come to the plate. And there's going to be a ground ball. Transtrom fields it over at third to first. It's not in time as the stretch over there by Carlisle and the connection's not made. He bobbled the ball, and so it's safe at first on the ground ball. And there's ball one to Branson. Branson was one of the outs in the first inning. He struck out. So he was one of the two outs in that first inning. He takes one of the three outs in the first inning. He takes ball two. Swing and a miss for strike one. Hemsley, the runner at first, reached on an error. Here's the 2-ball, 1-strike count. And that's a ground ball to Yoshimura. He'll come up with it, go to first. This time it's in time. So the error doesn't cost the Bears anything. They do give up a run. But they get out of the inning with only allowing one. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 8-2 is your score right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
Go here, go there, go anywhere with Phillips 66.
Live to the full with U-Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
Eight to 2 is your score. All the stuff we talk about between innings off the air. 8-2 is your score. That's that lead-in we have during our Friday morning show. If you think the conversations with your spouse are strange, you should hear these two. And Jace Transtrom, the senior third baseman today. He's played all over. He's played catcher this year for the Bears. He's played third base. He's played trying to think where else I've seen him play. At least those two positions. He's kind of a utility player for the Bears. Steps in there as the number 8 hitter today in the lineup. Good to see him out there. He had the wrist injury after getting hit. That's a called strike on the outside corner. After getting hit with the ball, and yesterday was his first action back. He hasn't practiced in about 2 weeks. Swing and a miss right there. Swung over the top of it. 0-2 is the count. Peterson, the starting pitcher, did give up a couple runs in the first. He's facing the number 8 hitter in the order, Trentstrom, here to start the second. And that one's high for ball 1. The Bears did make him work in that first inning. He threw 34 pitches, which will translate to about 3 innings of work if the Bears can make him throw that many pitches each and every inning. Swing and a miss, strikeout right there. That's a Yusei Phillips 66 strikeout. Yusei Phillips 66. Live to the full where your convenience is our pleasure. And this is not Dax Wood. And so we have an early substitution. This is Taysom Price. Taysom was 2 for 2 yesterday. We named him our still man of the game. He came in relief yesterday and had 2 hits in that game against Snake River in relief, and he comes in here early. Wood did have that error in left field in that first inning, and maybe after seeing the way Taysom hit yesterday, Coach Crane decided to give him a shot. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the second, 8-2 in favor of the Eagles. And there you go. His last 3 at-bats have been 3 hits as Price ropes one into right field. The line drive is a single to right field. So good choice right there by Coach Crane to sub in Price. And now Dax Perkins, who drew a walk in his first at-bat, stands in there with a runner at first and 1 out. Perkins walked, Yoshimura singled, Hume doubled were the first 3 batters of the first inning for the Bear Lake Bears. 2 runs scored. Perkins came around to score on the double. Yoshimura came around to score on the blocksome ground out as he takes a called strike right there. So Perkins stands in there, 0-1, with a runner down at first. And that one is low, just missed, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, 1 on. 8-2 is the score at the bottom of the second on your Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare, you can count on them to care. Visit them at blmhospital.com. Throw over is not in time as Price dives back. So here's the 1-1 pitch. Throw over again, not even close. Peterson likes to keep him close. Price dove back and then basically almost called timeout before that ball even got halfway there. So that one was one of those just keep him close, keep him honest. Here's the pitch. Oh, called strike. Thought he missed on the outside, but he must have caught the corner. That one's a called strike. 4 strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Perkins, who drew a walk in his first at bat. Another throw over. Again, not in time. Yesterday, though, after several throwovers like that late in the game, they did actually pick off one of the Bear Lake Bears. So maybe that's what the Eagles are trying to do here. Perkins, swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning for Peterson. The Yusei Phillips 66 strikeout now brings Yoshimura to the plate with 2 outs, and that runner at first, Price, after his single. Yoshimura ripped a single to left center, his first at bat. He'd love to do it again here. Throw over again. Again, Price back easily. Here's the pitch. Check swing, foul over into the softball field. So 0-1. Now the count. 2 strikeouts in the inning for the Bears. Only 1 strikeout in the first inning. Another foul ball. It's 0-2. So after giving up a few hits and a couple walks back in the first inning, Peterson has settled in. And he has struck out 2, allowed the 1 hit, and he's now up on Yoshimura, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and struck him out, struck out the side. The swing and the miss, and the third Yusei Phillips 66 strikeout of the inning for Denver Peterson, and the Bears trail it 8-2 after 2. We'll be back with the third right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Discover your future with Simplot, where a multitude of career opportunities await. Whether you're interested in mining, agriculture, engineering, technology, manufacturing, management, or a number of additional options, Simplot offers not just a job, but a truly satisfying and rewarding career. Explore our diverse range of positions and find where you belong. Visit Simplot.com to view available positions locally and across the United States. That's Simplot.com, a world of career opportunities.
Here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, we have the honor of having a great radiology team. They've been recognized at the state level of being the best in their field. In our radiology department, we are able to provide MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, mammograms, ultrasound, echocardiograms, nuclear medicine, and DEXA scans.
Bear Lake Dental in Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier, online at bearlakedental.com, or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
Is 8-2 after 2. Bear Lake Bears trailing the Marsh Valley Eagles. Called strike right there on the first pitch from Perkins into Carter. Carter, the shortstop, is 1 for 1 on the day. He hit a single back in the first inning, and he's going to rip one down the line. I think that's going to go foul.
Yep.
So very quickly, 0-2. Perkins looking at about 65 pitches so far in this one. And that one is a rip into center field. But Ewing is underneath it for out number 1. So Ewing settles underneath the fly ball. And the out number 1 of inning number 3 recorded. Tate Whitworth, who's 1 for 1 in the game. In the first inning, he singled. On the second inning, he walked. And this is his third at-bat already here in the third. And he takes low for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that one's hit into left center field, and Ewing settles underneath it. And for another out. So 2 quick outs, both recorded by Tate Ewing. That one, Price would have been there as well.
Yeah,
either one of them could have caught that.
Ewing showing his speed there. He covered a lot of territory.
Off the bat, that might look like it might be a gap shot, but then Ewing gets underneath it. High pop fly is going to get back out of play for a foul ball. Solomon is also 1 for 1 in the game. He doubled and walked in his 2 at-bats. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, and that one's in the dirt for ball 1. And I'm sure Perkins would love a quick inning right here, as he's thrown a lot of pitches through 2. And there's another pop fly. Yoshimura is going to go out, can't get to it, and it's going to be a little single into shallow left center field. That one was too shallow for Price or Ewing to get to, and Yoshimura couldn't quite get back out to it. So the little pop fly single. And this brings up Sorensen. Sorensen is 1 out of 2 in the game. And he's going to check swing that, foul that one into the Marsh Valley dugout. He singled and struck out in his 2 at-bats. In fact, he was out number 2 of the first inning. Out number 3, of the first inning was that strikeout. And here he is, his 3rd at-bat here in the 3rd inning. As 12 Marsh Valley Eagles came to the plate. Runners going. Throw is going to be a little bit slow. Good throw and a good tag there by Jack Hume, but Solomon in there with a stolen base. Sometimes when you have a play that's that close, that bang-bang, It's all about where the pitch was, and Bloxham had to dig that one out that was low and make the throw. And by the time he did, he wasn't going to get it. So now 2 balls and a strike after that one is low. Bloxham with a nice block to keep it in front of him, keep Solomon at second base. Oh, the off speed stays up just a little bit too high. Ball 3. Bennett, the catcher, would be the next batter. And there's going to be a little bloop, and it's going to fall. Throw is coming to the plate, and it's going to be off the line up to the first base side of the plate. So Solomon scores on the single. And again, it was just that little pop fly that Ewing couldn't get into it in time. And Yoshimura couldn't get out to it, and Sorensen ends up at second on the throw. And this brings Bennett to the plate. Bennett is 0 for 1. He has a walk and a pop out in his 2 at-bats. So a run has scored here in the inning. Bears get the first 2 outs, and then a couple of little blue pop flies score a couple runs. Foul ball out of play. 0-1 is your count. So no balls, 1 strike, 2 out, runner at second, 9-2 is your score. Eagles leading the Bears. And that one is high. 4-1. That one's low for ball 2, and it gets past Bloxham. Sorensen will advance to third on the wild pitch. I think that one hit the rubber because it bounced pretty high over the top of his shoulder. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs. Runner at third now. That was high and away for ball 3. So after getting 2 quick ones, now the Eagles have settled in, have scored 1 run, looking to score another run here with 2 outs as they got a runner at third and a 3-1 count. Foul ball. 3-2. Here's the full count pitch. And it's going to be a ground ball. Yoshimura will not scoop it up. Can't make the play as it hopped a little bit to his left just as it got to him. It goes off of the heel of his glove. A run scores on the ground ball. And it's 10-2. This brings Ethan Anderson to the plate. Anderson is he's 2 for 2. He's got a home run and
switch sides of the plate.
Single, yeah, he definitely switched sides of the plate.
Yeah,
he's got he's 2 for 2, but that swing and a miss shows you he's not normally left-handed. He takes inside for ball 1. He rifled that first hit, and his second one was a hard ground ball as well, through the gap between third base and shortstop. Swing and a miss there, and the runner is going. Ball was in the dirt, so there's no chance to throw him out. So the stolen base for Bennett. But a 2-strike count now for Anderson. Here's the 1-2. High, 2-2. That one's up at his eyeballs. And he takes it for a ball. Perkins ready to deliver. Here's the 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Work the count. Full count now. Anderson at the plate. He's 2 for 2 with a home run and a single. He's worked the count full now as a switch hitter hitting from the left side. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. That'll be the U-save. Phil's 66 strikeout will end the inning, but not before. The Eagles put up 2 more, and they lead at 10-2. We'll be back with the bottom of the third after this on the SVI Sports Network.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, safety is our top priority. not just for our employees, but for their families too. Our commitment extends beyond the workplace as we proudly support and contribute to the local community in meaningful ways. We're more than just a mine. We're a pillar of strength for those who live here. Discover how we make a difference at Simplot.com. Join us in fostering a safer, stronger community. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine.
My name is Benjamin Bozen. I am a family medicine physician. I really enjoy providing care to the whole family, from newborns to elderly care. I like athletes and sports medicine, and then I also do osteopathic manipulative therapy, which is a hands-on treatment. My ultimate goal is to be your advocate and to help you have the best life that you can have, to help you achieve your goals.
Bears trail at 10-2 after 2.5. Denver Peterson, the pitcher for the Marsh Valley Eagles. Jack Hume will be the batter. Hume, in the first inning, roped a double off the center field fence to score a run. Nearly scored two as Yoshimura was held up at third. Probably would have been thrown out had he tried to come home. So here's the first pitch of the inning from Peterson. Jack Hume steps in and rips this one. I think the right fielder is going to get under it. That one was just as deep, just wasn't at, it was right at the right fielder. So Hume has hit the ball hard twice. First one was a double. Second one was caught. Carlisle, the hitter, his first plate appearance was a strikeout with runners in scoring position back in the first. Let's see what he can do here with nobody on. Ooh, called strike. I thought that one was low, but we'll go with it. 0-1 is now the count with one out. 10-2, your score. Carlisle fouls that one straight back. Hits right. That would have hit us. That one would have hit us. Had there not been a net and a roof over.
Probably deserve it, probably.
0-2 now, the count very quickly on Carlisle. Peterson had to work in the first inning. He's been able to be efficient in the next two so far. Here's the 0-2. And that's going to be a single into right field. Nice hit there by Carlisle. Line drives it into right field, right at Sorensen, but it took about 3 hops before it got to him. So Carlisle with the line drive single brings up Wolstenhume. Wolstenhume walked back in the first inning and then reached, he was thrown out at second on the next play. At the next batter for out number 2 of the inning. Throw over to towards Carlisle, back in time. Peterson's only thrown 51 pitches, but he's thrown 100 if you count all the times he's thrown at first base in this game. Here's the pitch to Wolstenhume. A swing and a miss for strike one. That was an off speed, and Ryland couldn't catch up to it. Couldn't slow his bat down, I should say. And here is the 0-1 throw over to first, not in time. Carlisle takes his lead. Peterson glances over there, comes to the plate, outside, ball one. One ball, one strike, one out, one runner on. 10-2, Eagles lead it here in the bottom of the third on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare. You can count on them to care. Visit them at blmhospital.com. Another throw over, another dive back. And we'll do it again. That's the 4th throw over. He's only thrown 1 pitch. He's thrown over there 4 times on this at bat. Comes to the plate there, and it's high for ball 1, ball 2.
Close.
Then they tried to back pick Carlisle. Snap throw from Bennett down to Anderson. And Carlisle dove back. The ball fell out of Anderson's glove on the tag attempt anyway, so he's safe. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And here's the 2-1 pitch. Called strike, outside corner.
That looked high.
I think the umpire forgot who the batter is.
Yeah.
You can hear the cheering maybe going on over on the softball fielders. They're getting ready to start over there. We'll keep you updated on that game as this game progresses. Outside now, full count. 3-2. To the right fielder, Wolstenhume, who walked back in the first. Peterson looking over at first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. There's the U-Save. Phil at 66 strikeout. U-Save. Live to the full where your convenience is our pleasure. That's out number 2. Mason Bloxham, who had an infield single. And now you're saying it should have been a fielder's choice. They threw the kid out at second. If Wolstenhume would have got a good jump, and he didn't get any jump, I think he thought it was going to be caught, so he didn't get any jump. And Bloxham rifles that one into left field for a base hit.
It's a good hit.
Line drive. 2 for 2 now on the day for Mason Bloxham. Tate Ewing, who struck out to end the first inning, will be the batter. So West Side and Bear Lake softball about to start right behind us here. Scheduled to start in 3 minutes. Looks like the Bears are out on the field taking their last warm-up, so the first pitch should come here shortly. And we'll keep you updated on that game as we go. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Ewing at the plate. Swing and a miss at the high fastball. The Bears would love to get some runs here. A couple of singles. We've got runners at first and second. Looking for a 2-out rally, trailing 10-2 in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch. High, 4-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Carlisle with a single stands at second. Bloxham with his single stands at first. And Ewing, the batter, facing Denver Peterson, the pitcher. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And that one's out. Oh!
I think he said he swung.
He must have said he swung because that was way out. I thought Ewing held off, but he called the swing. Oh, I thought, my opinion is he held back, but the umpire said no, he went. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, Ewing stands in there. Here's the 1-2 pitch outside. That's the exact same pitch. That time he doesn't offer at it, and it's now 2-2. Ewing trying to work the count, looking to get himself on. Jace Transtrom, the second baseman today. Third baseman, he is over at third. I know what I'm saying. Third baseman today, the senior would be the next batter up if Ewing can get himself on. And he hits a single into right field, and Carlisle's going to round and then stop. So 3 singles in the inning is Tate Ewing. That was kind of a defensive, hey, there's 2 strikes, I better swing at that. And it went right between first and second base for a single. Sadly, it was shallow enough, and Sorensen made a good enough play on it that Carlisle was unable to score. So now it's up to Transtrom with the bases full of Bears. He struck out leading off the second, his first at-bat. He hits a high pop fly between second and third. Third baseman Branson comes over and takes it. So the Bears get 3 on, but cannot score in the 3rd inning. We'll go to the 4th. 10-2 Marsh Valley. We'll be back with that right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Trevor Jacobson. I'm a family practice provider here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. After graduating high school at Bear Lake High School, I went to BYU, Idaho to play baseball. After a year, went on an LDS mission to Chile. Ended up going to medical school at the University of Utah. Did family practice in Salt Lake City. Worked in Hawaii for a time, and then back here when this job opened up. Being able to practice back here has always been a dream. I've been working here at the hospital for almost 10 years. What I like about family practice is you get to see a little bit of everything. And in a rural setting, you get to do a lot of things that you don't normally get to do. My passion's spending time with my family, particularly outdoors. A lot of whitewater rafting in the summer, snow skiing in the winter. What makes me feel good at the end of the day is just connecting with my patients. We look forward to seeing you and taking care of you.
Perkins and Yoshimura switch places, so Yoshimura now the pitcher and Dax Perkins now the shortstop. As we go to the fourth inning, Bears trail at 10-2. As Marsh Valley has scored in each of the first three. They put up 7 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. Bears get 2 in the first and have not been able to score since then, but they did have the bases full of Bears last inning and could not capitalize as Transtrom just got a little underneath it and popped it out to the third baseman. And we're ready for inning number 4. The softball game has started behind us, and we'll try to update you on that as we go. As the batter will be Cooper Curzone, the left fielder. He is 1 out of 2 in the game. He singled in the first and struck out in his second at-bat. He'll be followed by Hemsley, Branson, and Carter D. Don't have a last name there. So Yoshimura set to deliver. Delivers outside and high for ball 1. Here is the 1-ball pitch. 1-ball, no strike pitch, and it's high for ball 2. Meanwhile, on the softball field, still 0-0, 1 out, but a runner at second for West Side. Yoshimura behind 2 balls, no strikes. To the batter, Curzone. That's a called strike. Nice pitch.
That looked really good.
Here's the pitch, and fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. So after falling behind, 2-0. Yoshimura evens the count, 2-2. Against Curzone, the left fielder. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing, foul ball again.
He reached for that
Yeah,
one.
he had to avoid strike 3. That was an outside corner pitch. Lindsey Fisher in the circle for the Bears on the softball field. It's kind of nice where we're sitting, being up here in this booth where we can see both fields. If we get time, if the baseball ends and there's still enough softball left to be played, we'll switch over and show you the softball game, the rest of it. But that's pending time, as that one's a ball for full count, ball 3. So 3-2 count to Curzone. Here's the 3-2 pitch, foul ball, do it again. Oh, no, that's going to be fair. That looked like it was foul.
Yeah.
To me, it looked like it was fouled off straight back, and instead it goes into left field.
Right field.
Right field. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Right field. Wilson-Hugh makes a good play on it to hold it to a single. And I don't know why that one off the bat just looked to me like it was a foul ball over into the softball field, but instead it goes as a leadoff single for Curzone, and this brings Hemsley to the plate. Hemsley is 1 out of 2 in the game. He singled in the first, reached on an error in his second at-bat, and he takes a called strike for strike 1. Yoshimura set to deliver. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Nice pitch. The curveball fooled him. for strike 2. So here's the 0-2 pitch with runner at first in Curzon after the single to start the inning. Just missed outside for ball one. Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yoshimura taking his time, delivers, swing and a miss, struck him out. There's a Yusei Phillips 66 strikeout. Yusei Phillips 66 live to the full, where your convenience is our pleasure. The inning just ended on the softball field. Westside does score 1 and leads at 1-0. Bears due up in their half of the first inning. Meanwhile, I wanted to strike. I wanted to strike for you there, Yoshi. That looked good, but must have just missed outside. Branson, the batter. Branson is 0 for 2 in the game. He has struck out and grounded out. And he's now 1 for 3 in the game as he hits that one to the right center field gap. Ewing rifles it in, but runners are now at the corners.
Ooh, good throw.
And then they try to throw over to catch Curzon trying to advance. So the single on the line drive to right center. Curzon does advance on the play to third. So we got runners at the corners for Carter. The shortstop. And he is 1 for 2. They've both been to center field. One of them was a single. One of them was caught. And he's got a chance right here with runners at first and third with 1 out in the 4th. Here's the pitch, takes high. And the throw is to third to keep the runner honest as Branson still second. It's 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. 2 runners on, and they're both in scoring position at second and third after the stolen base. Here's the pitch, outside for ball 2. So yesterday, the timing was good. We were able to show you both games. Today, this baseball game had to be pushed back an hour because of the weather this morning. Here's the pitch, 3-0 as he misses outside.
It's a little hard to play baseball with snow on the
Yeah,
floor.
it was a cold, snowy morning. So 3-0 and walked him full as Carter took that one high for ball 4. Well, this brings Whitworth to the plate. He is 1 out of 2. He started the game with a single. He followed up with a walk and a fly ball out in his 3 plate appearances so far. 4 innings, 4 plate appearances for Whitworth, the leadoff batter. Here's the first pitch to him. Called strike, outside corner, nice frame there.
Yeah,
also by
really
the pitcher,
high.
blocks him. And a leadoff walk on the softball field. And that ball's in play. High pop fly. It's going to be to shallow center. They'll send the runner. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's going to be up the line. Bloxham's now going to throw down to third, but not in time. They'll throw to second, not in time. And then chase the runner back to first. So the sacrifice fly does score a run. Lots of throwing the ball around the infield to try to get an out, but everybody was able to get back. So the sacrifice fly by Whitworth scores one more, and it's 11-2 with Solomon coming to the plate. Solomon is 2 for 2. He's got a double, a walk, and a single. And he takes outside for ball 1. The lefty, he ripped a hit double down the line into left field his first at bat. And here's the hit right back at the middle.
Hard line drive.
1 run will score. 2 runs Oh, they got him! They got him at the plate. One run did score, but the nice tag by Bloxham, I thought they were going to call him safe. The single to center does score a run, but they tried to score two. And Ewing with the great throw into Bloxham for the tag out. And the Bears trail it by 10, but they should have been down even further without the great defensive play right there. They'll come up to the plate in the fourth inning, needing some runs to keep this game going, trailing by 10, 12-2. We'll be back with the bottom of the fourth after this on the SVI Sports Network.
I'm John Pym, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, DO. Interacting with wonderful people every day, being able to maybe make a small impact in their lives for good. I don't think that life gets any better than that. I am really excited to be here practicing in Bear Lake and be a good source for you and your family to take care of your healthcare needs.
Bear Lake High School sports on SVI are presented by Gary H. Tusher, CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll. Mountain Valley Dental, creating healthy smiles for Bear Lake Valley and beyond. Lenhart Distributing, proud to support the Bears. Flying S Title and Escrow, whatever it takes. Southeast Idaho Steel, locally produced steel signs and fixtures. And Sampson's Island Grill at 253 South 4th Street in Montpelier.
1-1 is the score on the softball field as Brooklyn Pope has an RBI. One out with runner now at third, and Abby Humphreys batting on the softball field. And she's up 2-0 in the count. Meanwhile, on the baseball field, the Bears are down by a score of 12-2. And first pitch of the inning to Price is a called strike. Price is 1 for 1 on the game. He had a single to right field in his first plate appearance. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Peterson has gone all the way. This is a pop fly. It's going to get just barely out of play. Down the right field line, the first baseman Anderson went over, but it hit off the shed that protects the water pump down here in the electrical system. 0-2 count to Price. Struck him out, breaking ball. And for the called strike, that looked like it was going to be inside. It broke back over the plate. Brings up Dax Perkins, the batter. He's 0 for 1. He reached on a walk, came in to score, and then struck out in his 2 plate appearances. And now runners at second and third, and still only 1 out for Lindsey Fisher on the softball field. Here's Perkins stepping in there with nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the fourth inning. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Perkins looking to help himself out. He was the starting pitcher, so he would take the loss at this point. Takes outside for ball 1. As 2 runs did score that last inning on Yoshimura, but the first 10 runs are credited to Perkins. Takes high for ball 2. Bears score a run on a ground ball out. So they now lead it 2-1 on the softball side. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Perkins. Hits him.
Ooh, right in the back.
He'll take a base and be a runner with just 1 out. Brings up Yoshimura. He's 1 out of 2. He singled and struck out in his 2 plate appearances. Yoshimura stands in with a runner at first with 1 out. Throw over. Again, not in time. Peterson is only thrown 70 pitches, so he's still got a potential to finish this game off. And Ellie Romrell just hit a 3-run home run.
Again.
Yeah, as Yoshimura hits this one to left field for out number 2. So the fly ball out. As Curzon settles under it, Perkins is unable to tag because it was shallow enough. There's no way he was going to get there. So Jack Hume, who's 1 out of 2 in this game, steps in. He has hit the ball hard twice. Once was a straightaway center double, and the second one was to deep right field for an out. So he's 1 out of 2, but he has hit the ball twice hard off of Peterson. He'd love to get a hold of one right here with the Bears trailing by 10. He takes ball 1. So Ellie Romrell hit a monster shot in the wind yesterday in the Bears' big win over American Falls. And she just hit a 3-run home run right here in the softball game. Hume with the big swing and a miss for strike 1. So softball leads at 4-1 in the first. Baseball trails at 12-2 in the fourth. Jack Hume settles in. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. That's a high for ball 2. High pitch there. Two balls now and a strike. 2-2. Nice pitch. Hume thought it was going to be low.
I thought it was low.
It gets the called strike. So Perkins, after the reaching on a hit by pitch, stands down at first. Hume would love to move him. They're going to throw over, not in time. And the Bears draw a walk over on the softball diamond, so now another runner on. Still in the bottom of the first. There are 2 outs, but the Bears lead at 4-1 over there. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Hume. He's going to foul it over, out of play. And that's going to go into the baseball field. They'll call quick timeout. In the softball field. So timeout on the softball diamond. Here's the 2-2 pitch again to Hume. And he's going to win the battle as he drives this one into deep left center, but it falls. I thought it was going to be caught. It falls right between them. It's going to be an RBI. He's headed for third. He's going to be in there. The RBI triple by Jack Hume.
They bobbled the ball out there. I think he could have made it for an infield homer, but better safe than sorry.
Curzon tried to cut it off, couldn't quite get there. Solomon was backing him up, but neither one of them could get to it, and because they were both headed for it, it falls into the gap and rolled to the fence. Hume has now a double and a triple on the game. Meanwhile, the Bears scored another run on the softball side. And a ground ball by Carlisle. Can he run it out? He's going to be safe as the third baseman, Branson, can't come up with it. So the RBI. And it's going to be technically an error on Branson. But a run scores. So now 2 runs in the inning is 12-4. Carlisle down at first. Woolston. Hume is not the batter. This is number 10. I think it's Cameron Crane, Cameron Roberts, if I'm not mistaken, is number 10. So Roberts will step in as a pinch hitter. Takes outside for ball 1. Carlisle down at first. 2 runs in the inning. The RBI triple by Hume. Inning just ended over on the softball field. Bears score 5 in the first and now lead at 5-1 after 1. Fouled straight back to the screen by Roberts, who threw about 30 pitches yesterday, so he may be able to throw some pitches today again if needed. Here's the one pitch. Instead, it's a throw over. Carlisle has had to dive back probably 20 times in this game because he's been on base twice, and they've thrown over at him a lot. Here's the 1-1 pitch. High for ball 2. Nice eye there by Roberts. Peterson up to 80 pitches, so he's still got 30 left. As the starter, he can go up to 110 plus if he needs to. If he starts a batter, he can finish the batter. Roberts rifles one into the gap in left center, and Carlisle's going to have to stop at second. But Roberts with the line drive, and the 2-out rally continues as Carlisle's now at second. Roberts with the single is at first. Blocks him. who's 2 for 2 on the game. He's got a ground ball, an infield single, and a line drive to left for another single. So he's 2 for 2 in the game. Steps into the box. Here's the pitch. Low. Oh, no. That's the first one I'm really going to be upset about on the called strike, because that was definitely low and away. But it's a called strike. Here's the pitch. Same exact pitch, and that one's a ball that time.
Yep.
And it was, I'm not kidding, same exact pitch. I don't know how well you could see that on the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Runners at first and second. That's a strike. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bloxham. Like I said, Bloxham is 2 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch. That's outside for ball 2. 2-2 is your count. Could easily be 3-1. Runners at first and second are Carlisle and Roberts, who both had singles. Carlisle's single scored a run. Swing and a miss. That's going to end the inning. The USAA Phil's 66 strikeout, but the Bears get 2 and close the gap to an 8-point lead. 12-4, the Eagles lead it. We'll be back with the top of the 5th after this on the SVI Sports Network.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. They assist in the skilled nursing facility, the manor, the home health, along with helping out with both preoperative and postoperative. Make sure that you have the best outcome with your surgery and your way of life going forward.
Bears trail at 12-4, headed to the top of the 5th. Marsh Valley leads it. Bears put up 2 in that inning and starting to hit the ball as Hume had the RBI triple. And on the softball side of things, 1, 2, 3 go Westside Pirates as there's just a little pop out to the catcher to end the inning. So the Bears lead at 5-1 after 1.5, coming to the plate in the bottom of the 2nd on the softball diamond. Meanwhile, the Bears trail it 12-4 on the baseball diamond, headed to the top of the 5th. And the batter will be Sorensen. Sorensen's 2 out of 3 on the day. He has 2 singles and a strikeout sandwiched in between. Here's the first pitch from Yoshimura to Sorensen, fooled him for a swing and a miss, strike 1. 12-4 is your score. 5th inning, 0-1 count. Nobody on, nobody out. On the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard, Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare. You can count on them to care. Visit them at blmhospital.com. And Sorensen takes outside for ball 1. 1-1's your count. Beautiful day here at the ballpark. Just a slight breeze. Not enough to really affect things too much. And a lot warmer than it was yesterday.
So much better.
In fact, 44 degrees is what it says, but when it says sunny, it doesn't feel too bad. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Oh.
Ooh.
3-1. That was a lot closer than that one called on Wolstenhume in the last inning. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Strike 2.
I can see how the batter's confused. Because
he thought he'd drawn the walk.
That was I don't know.
So here's the 3-2 pitch, payoff pitch coming on the leadoff batter, Sorensen, in the bottom of the 5th. And that was definitely outside.
Yeah.
For ball 4. So this brings up Bennett. Bennett is 0 for 2 on the day. And he's had a walk, a pop out, and a reached on an error are his 3 at-bats. So he's been on base twice, but he's yet to hit safely because one of those 2 was a walk. Crockett leads off the softball inning with a little ground ball. She's safe at first. And there's a rip into left field, and it's going to get to the gap. Ewing will pick it up, rifle it into third. So they'll keep the runner there. But a double for Bennett, his first time on base safely. Anderson, who is got a home run, a single, and a strikeout. The strikeout was from the left side. He's going to hit from the right side this time. He is 2 out of 3. And we got a pinch runner out there, but we won't worry about it. We'll just say Anderson's the batter with runners in scoring position and no outs, 2 on. And Anderson's first hit of the game was a home run, and it was a monster back in the first inning. 7 runs in the first inning for the Marsh Valley Eagles. And that one's low for ball 1. In the 4 innings since, they've only put up 5 runs. It looked like it was going to be a way more lopsided game than it is. So 1 ball, no strikes to Anderson.
Oh.
And he gets hit by the pitch, so the bases are loaded with nobody out. So this brings up Curzon, the left fielder. He is 2 out of 3 on the day. He singled, struck out, and singled. And 2 outs on the softball field, but a runner is at third after Romrell's retired on the ground ball. And this is going to be a pop fly on the infield. Infield fly roll. Batter is out. It's caught anyway by Perkins, but it would have been infield fly. So Perkins records out number 1 of the inning. This brings up Hemsley. Hemsley's 1 out of 3. He has singled and reached on an error and struck out. Are his 3 at-bats. He's got the bases loaded for him right here with only 1 out. Yoshimura's pitch is outside. Gets away from blocks him, but nobody's going to score. They'll stay where they're at. As Humphreys rips a foul over on the softball diamond. The Bears lead at 5-1 over there. They trail on the baseball side of things. They trail by a score of 12-4. Here's the 1-0 pitch, 2-0. That one's high. To Hemsley from Yoshimura, who started the day at shortstop, is now pitching in relief of Perkins. He's thrown 11 pitches in his 1.1 innings. Sorry, 11 pitches this inning, 32 pitches overall. That one's high for ball 3. 3-0 and no place, 2-0. 3-0, it is a 3-0 count. I got to trust myself. 3-0 count and no place to put him with the bases full of Eagles. You don't want to walk in a run. So here's the 3-0 pitch for Yoshimura with the bases packed. And strike 1, called strike. And the inning ends on the softball side of things without the Bears being able to score another run. So they're going to lead at 5-1 going into the third over there. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that one's going to be ripped foul. So now it's 3-2. Yoshimura has fought back to load the count. 3-2 with 1 out, bases loaded. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Yoshimura. Swing and a miss, struck him out. That's the U-save, Phillips 66 strikeout. U-save, live to the full where your convenience is our pleasure. That one was big with the bases loaded. Had no place to put him. Fought back from 3-0 count. Got the strikeout. Branson now, the third baseman, coming to the plate. He's 1 out of 3 on the day. He struck out, grounded out, and singled in his last at-bat. And he is the last hope for the Eagles to score runs in this inning. Now that they're down to 2 outs, and he swings and misses at strike one. Bases loaded. No runs yet in the inning for the Eagles. They got Sorensen at third, Bennett at second, Anderson at first. A single, a double, and a walk are how they got there. And that one's low and away for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. It's high for ball 2. This game seems to have slowed down the last couple innings. The pitcher's working, trying to keep the runners from scoring on once the bases get full, and that's going to be a wild pitch and run will score.
Nope.
No, he stayed. I'm surprised there. As that one, because of the direction it skipped, he may have been easily able to score as it went to the right side. So 3 balls and a strike. Again, no place to put the runner. He's got to come with a strike here with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch by Yoshimura. Curveball fooled him. And it's 3-2. Payoff pitch with 2 outs. 3-2, 2 outs. You know the runners are all moving on the pitch because you got something's going to happen here. Knock or walk. You got to be moving on the pitch right here. And they are. And it's going to be a base hit into center field. 2 runs will score. And a 2-run single. And the runner from second was almost on third base by the time the pitch got to home plate because he knew that, you know, with a 3-2 count and 2 outs, something's got to happen. So 2 runs score, runners at the corners.
It's that old 3-2, what do? You run no matter what.
And he ripped a line drive into center field, 2-run score. And the score is 14-4. And this brings to the plate Carter D. is the name we got for him. And he takes low for ball 1. He's the shortstop. And he is on the day 1 for 2. A single, a fly out to center, and a walk in his 3 at-bats. 1 ball, 1 strike now as he takes the pitch there. Runners in the corners haven't tried to move yet. With 2 outs, maybe you don't risk the stolen base. And that one's high. 2-1 now is the count. Yoshimura gets the sign. We'll check the runner at third base. Comes to the plate, and it's a ground ball into left field. Transtrom couldn't quite get over there to it, and it will score a run. As the hard ground ball, Transtrom tried to backhand it, but couldn't get to it. And the hard ground ball scores another one. So now runners at first and second, 2 out, but 3 runs in the inning, and it's back to an 11-run lead. It's going to be another base hit, and will they try to score the run? They will, and they will score it as it gets past Ewing in center field. Price over there to back him up, gets it in to keep the runners at first and third. And the line drive right up the middle for the single, and Branson scores. And now it's 16-4. 2-out rally here for the Panthers, and Solomon, the center fielder, who's had a great day at the plate. He is 3 for 3, takes strike 1. On the day, he has doubled, walked, singled twice. And it's 16-4, and he's got runners at first and third. 2 outs. 0-1 pitch is outside for ball 1. On the softball side of things, 2 outs, but a runner at third for West Side here in the top of the third inning. That ball is inside for ball 2. Is that ball 3?
That's ball 2.
I was going to say, I thought it was ball 2, but I looked out at the board. They already had 2 balls up there before the pitch. Got to trust us, not the board, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the 2-1 inside. It hit him. So bases are loaded for Sorensen. Sorensen is 2 out of 3 on the game. He's got a single, a strikeout, a single, and a walk. So if he keeps the pattern alive, this will be a single because he's singled every other at-bat. And he's got the bases loaded here. He could break this game wide open with a base hit, and he'll take strike 1. That was the outside corner at the top of the zone. Yoshimura set to deliver. That one's high for ball 1. 33 pitches already thrown in the inning. The Eagles have made him work. Set to deliver the 1-1 pitch with bases loaded and 2 out. Low and away for ball 2. And on the softball diamond, the Bears get out number 3 without allowing the run to score. So it's 5-1, headed to the bottom of the third over there. Innings-wise, they've almost caught up to us. They're already in the bottom of the third. Here we are only in the top of the 5th. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 2. So here's the 2-2 pitch with 2 outs, bases loaded. Sorensen, the right fielder, the number 3 hitter in the lineup, is going to take high, and the count is full. So again, with 2 outs and a full count, the runners will be going on the pitch. No reason to hold up. There they go. And it's foul ball. We'll do it again. Especially the runner on second. He's almost to third base by the time the pitch gets to home plate, knowing that there's nothing, it's going to be a walk or a hit or an out, and it's not going to make any difference what he does. The runners are going, and it's ball 4. So the run scores. This brings up Bennett, the catcher. His walk popped out, reached on an error, and doubled in his 4 plate appearances. And he's hitting now with the bases loaded. 5 runs have scored in the inning. They've all scored since 2 out. And that's going to score.
It's foul.
Foul. I was waiting for a signal from the umpire because he didn't make a signal and didn't go foul by much down the left field line. So it's 0-1. The count to Bennett. You don't want to face Anderson in this situation, the next here, because he hit a home run to start the game. And that's a little ground ball back to Yoshimura at pitcher. He throws it over to first in time for the out to end the inning, but not before. The Eagles put up 5, and they now lead it by 13, 17-4. In the softball game, Fisher is up at the plate. The Bears lead at 5-1 in the top of the third. Sorry, the bottom of the third. And we'll be back with the bottom of the 5th after this in the baseball diamond on the SVI Sports Network.
job, Martin. Looking good. Oh, it's the funny car guy.
Hey, you got Napa know-how too, huh?
Yep.
Well, Martin does go 200 miles an hour.
Ron breaks 300 in 4 seconds.
Yeah, in a straight line. That's real hard.
You drive in a circle.
You don't even steer.
Look at me.
Hey, you
I
two.
turn left.
Don't make me go get my can.
Your can's old.
Quiet! Matlock's on!
That's Daryl's can.
Boogity, boogity!
And I don't know if you heard that call. On the softball side of things, Lindsey Fisher just drove one to left field over the first fence, hit the bottom of the second fence for a deep home run. The Bears now lead at 6-1 in the bottom of the third inning with nobody out, and now nobody on after that Fisher home run. So they lead at 6-1. Right now on the baseball side of things, with Tate Ewing coming to the plate for the Bear Lake Bears, the Bears have work to do, a lot of work to do, as they trail at 13, and it's the fifth inning, so the run rule is in effect. The Bears have got to score 3 right here, or the game ends. Tate Ewing at the plate. Ewing is 1 out of 2. He had a single his last at bat. And he swings and misses at that one. Denver Peterson is not the pitcher anymore. Yes, he is. It's still Peterson, sorry. And he's gone the whole way so far for the Eagles. And swing and a miss right there. Out in front of Ewing. Peterson has thrown 88 pitches by my count, and I'm by no means official. And Romerell's now at second. I don't know how she got it first, but she just stole second over there on the softball diamond. That one nearly hits Ewing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Ewing, followed by Transtrom, followed by Price. The last chance for the Bear Lake Bears is they've got to put up some runs to stay alive in this game as they trail it by 13. 17-4. Swing and a miss. The USAA field 66 strikeout retires Ewing. That brings up Jace Transtrom. He's 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out and popped out. And his pop fly was with the bases loaded and 2 outs when he flew out to the shortstop. Here's the pitch to Transtrom. Oh.
Did he call that a strike?
Yeah, curveball fell in there. It was going to looked like it was going to be high.
Yeah, it did drop, I guess.
And it dropped in there for strike 1. Nice pitch. That's one that when it comes out of the hand, looks like that's going to be a ball easy, and then it drops in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch, outside and high for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 5th inning, Bears down to their last chance, their last 2 outs. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And Transtrom rifles that one into
good hit.
Left center field gap for a single. So the Bears stay alive. Just that line drive only goes about 15 feet off the ground, but gets into left center field. And this brings up Tayson Price. No, that's not Price.
No, it's number 0.
So we got a pinch hitter. Price was 1 for 2 on the day, but he'll sub out. And this is Dax Wood, who's subbing back in. Throw over to Transtrom at first base is not in time. So Wood, the batter, he started in left field, was 0 for 1, and he's now 1 for 2 as he rips a single into center. Transtrom trots down to second base. So the Bears getting what they need. They needed base runners. This brings up Perkins, the shortstop. Perkins is 0 for 1. He's walked and been hit by a pitch in his other 2 plate appearances. And meanwhile, on the softball field, Bears scored another run. They've got 2 outs, but they've plated 2 runs in the inning. They lead it now 7-1.
Did they forget to check Wood back in?
Woody back in, is that what they're saying? It's supposed to be by rule just a warning, so if that's what happened, It's a warning on the coach. If he makes a second boo-boo, he gets confined to the dugout. But at this point in the game, not sure he cares.
Yeah.
Dax Perkins, unless the Bears can rally here. Perkins, the batter. Transtrom at second. Wood at first. Strike one. Outside corner. Perkins will be followed by Yoshimura and Hume. And the Bears would love to get to Jack Hume because the way he's been swinging the bat today, he's got a double and a triple already and then a long fly ball. Swing and a miss for strike two. Inning ends over on the softball field, but the Bears get two more. The long home run by Fisher, and the other run was scored by Ellie Romrell. Don't know how she got there, but she scored. And here's the 0-2 outside, ball one. Perkins looking to extend the inning. The Bears need him to, as they trail by 13 in the bottom of the fifth with one out. If the Bears can't score three, this game will end on a run rule. It's 10 after 5, and right now they trail by 13. Perkins hits it, high pop fly. Looks like it's going to stay playable, but the catcher, Bennett, can't track it down. It bounces off the turf, and Perkins will do it again. So he stays alive. Yoshimura would be next if there's no double play. Top of the fourth inning already in the softball field, so probably won't be able to bring you any of that game. We were hoping to be able to bring you some, if not all, today. Perkins swings and misses. He strikes out, so the missed opportunity on the pop fly does not haunt the Eagles, at least not yet. And the Bears down to their final out after that You Save Phillips 66 strikeout. You Save Phillips 66. Live to the full where your convenience is our pleasure. Yoshimura, who is 1 for 3 on the day, the Bears' last hope. He is singled, struck out, and flied out in his 3 at-bats. He takes ball one. Yoshimura, the pitcher right now for the Bear Lake Bears, if they get back out there for the 6th inning. Started the game at shortstop. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. He was trying to get all 3 runs the Bears need to keep this game alive with one swing of the bat right there. That was a home run cut, but it goes for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. 2 on, runners at first and second for the Bears. Here's the pitch. Inside for ball 2. (17-4) the score. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 5th inning on the Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare scoreboard. Bear Lake Memorial Healthcare, you can count on them to care. Visit them at blmhospital.com. 3-1 is the count. Up and away. Bears are getting what they need. If they can get Yoshimura on, it would bring Jack Hume to the plate with a chance to extend this game. And he's going to foul that one off over into the softball field where there's 1 out in the top of the 4th over there. After the ground ball out recorded by Crockett, thrown over to Beard to get the out. Full count to Yoshimura with 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and he's going to pop it up. It's going to be playable. Second baseman Whitworth makes the catch. That's the game. And the Bears lose it by a final score of 17-4. And let's do a quick player of the game. For me, it's got to be Jack Hume.
I agree.
He hit the ball hard. He had a triple. He had a double. He had 2 RBIs. And his one time he was put out, it was a deep fly ball to right field. It was just wrangled in by the outfielder over there. And so Jack Hume, your Southeast Idaho Steel man of the game, Southeast Idaho Steel. For all your laser engraving needs, they also do laser engraving on wood, metal signs. They cut those beautiful metal signs. We have one at our house. We have some other stuff they've done. Their work is beautiful. And get a hold of them on Facebook. Southeast Idaho Steel, your Steel man of the game, Jack Hume.
Yep.
After hitting the ball hard. Well, that's going to do it for the regular season for the baseball team. They do have a couple JV games coming up on Monday. They're going to have a JV doubleheader here against Soda Springs on Monday if anybody wants to come out and watch the JV. Softball is winning right now 7-1 in the middle of the 4th inning over on that diamond against Westside. They have one more regular season game, which we'll have for you here on the SVI Sports Network. That will be on Wednesday versus Preston. Final game of the year.
And that's a big one.
It is. Even if it looks like because of tiebreaker, Preston's going to get the regular season district title anyway. But the Bears would like to go into the postseason with the momentum over Preston. So that's a big game. All right. That's going to do it for the baseball game. The Bears lose at 17-4. And thank you so much for tuning in. Because it's so late in the softball game and the score is lopsided over there, the Bears winning at 7-1. We're probably not going to flip over because it'd be the 5th inning before we did, and the Bears are ready to wrap things up over there, already leading to 7-1 as they come up in the bottom of the 4th. So that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back with another game on Wednesday as the Bears softball team hosts the Preston Indians. And so for everybody on this early, beautiful afternoon here on the SVI Sports Network, this is
Lisa Hillier
and Jared Hillier saying good afternoon, everybody.